Welcome back to the second part of our study of practical tips on how to extend our existing prayer times on a daily basis. Now, last time we looked at 5 tips that can help you extend your prayer time, especially into the night. And firstly, we said your waking up is important, so set an alarm. When the Lord wakes you up, it's a bonus, but be sure to wake up with an alarm on the days that you don't listen to His voice. Then secondly, we said to stay awake, you have to wash your face, drink something or eat something small. We also said, number 3, that you've got to get into bed earlier if you want to get up earlier. Fourthly, we said set your mind on things above. And lastly, we said speak to God as a friend and not only as a prayer answering God that must get all these requests. So today we will move on to number 6, and that is, how do you pray, or what do you do when you feel overwhelmed? Now, when you go through a really rough time, like dealing with a trauma or of death or illness of a friend or a family member, it can be really difficult to focus on God when coming to the place of prayer. Just know this. It is normal to feel overwhelmed during a time of crisis. You are not less spiritual because you struggle to pray at such times. God knows that too. Some wise counsel: just do not stop or skip on your devotional times. Just do something different while still presenting yourself before the Lord at these times. You can listen and worship along with a worship DVD, or just listen to an audio Bible of your choice. But do not neglect the times that you have with the Lord. Let the word wash over you. Let the worship wash over you. This is how we strengthen ourselves in the Lord every day. Prayer and intercession will spontaneously start to flow from your heart again. You don't have to force it. This brings us to number 7, fasting and prayer. Sometimes the Holy Spirit will prompt us to enter into a time of fasting and prayer. Where do you start? If it's your first time, start with something simple like skipping one meal or cutting away at treats altogether. Never see your times of fasting as an opportunity to lose weight while doing spiritual exercises or spiritualizing it. That really defeats the purpose and completely puts your focus in the wrong place. Put such things out of your mind. When fasting, we are setting our minds on the Lord to worship and honor Him alone. Do some research on biblical fasts and carefully read the guidelines on the do's and the don'ts when fasting. You can also watch our session on the different types of fasting and prayer. This brings us to number 8, outward distractions. Apart from quieting your mind, there are basic things you can do to minimize your distractions. Some of these are, yes, you know, put off your mobile phone, or put it on silent, or leave it in another room so that you don't fall into the temptation to just check something while you are spending time with God. Rather, take along a notebook. Make notes of things you want to remember afterwards. Do not look at your watch all the time. Do not respond to every thought that crosses your mind. Just write down those things so you can pursue them later. Number 9 is waiting. At the end of your prayer time, your heart and your mind will generally be quiet and more at peace. Now is the time to just quietly wait before the Lord. Ask Him, Lord, is there anything you want to share with me today? Here I am. Speak, Lord. And then wait. Don't be in a hurry. Write down what you hear Him say so you can act on it afterwards. Now, at times the Holy Spirit can prompt us to extend our existing prayer times, either for a specific purpose or to cause you to become stronger in the place of prayer. How do you and I respond to such promptings? Now, once you know this is the Holy Spirit and not your own flesh or self-effort, you can consider to do the following. You can begin by adding 5 or 10 minutes to your existing prayer time. Or you can add another daily time of set-apart prayer for a further 10 to 15 minutes. This will help you build stamina in the place of prayer. You can also consider to set apart a whole weekend in prayer to meet that prompting of the Holy Spirit. You might be stretched a bit, but if you persevere, you will be very blessed by the new ground you have won. Do not add more than 1 hour at a time to your existing times of prayer for a start. Just do that and establish that. Usually it takes 6 months for a new slot of prayer to become settled, for your body to obey you and not to fall tired because of that. If you hurry this process, you will just collapse completely after 3 months, and then you might be at risk to lose courage to pray completely. Rather go slower. Sometimes such a journey can take 1 or 2 years to really settle. And then still, it's a discipline to keep at those times. And diligence is the password when you want to extend the existing times you spend in prayer and do so meaningfully. May the Lord really inspire you and give you a hunger and thirst to just be in His presence for longer at a time.